Shadowboxing is where habits are born, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you're practicing. So in this video, let's talk about some shadowboxing mistakes that you're making and how to correct them. The first mistake a lot of guys make when they're shadowboxing, especially beginners, is they tend to bounce a lot when they're punching. They do this, and then they go back to bouncing. They do this, and then they go back to bouncing. They do this, and then they go back to bouncing. Now, this could be a good thing if you're switching it up, but what happens with most beginners is they make it a habit to just be in the rhythm, and then they have to set themselves to throw the punch. This is terrible because it can actually make you telegraph your punches. Your opponent is going to know that as soon as you set yourself, you are about to throw the punch. That's one. And two, it's also a way that they could time you. Once you're on a rhythm, anytime you're on a rhythm, your opponent can see that rhythm and catch you when you're either going in or going out or when you're about to throw your shot. So get rid of the habit of bouncing. Especially when you're first starting out, you want to make sure that you're completely static when you're throwing your punches, right? Try to even not step in the beginning when you throw your jab to really practice your punches and be able to throw them without moving. And then eventually you could do what Floyd Mayweather does in a fight, right? He switches it up. Sometimes he's just static. Sometimes he's bouncing around, moving around in different ways, right? Feinting, and throwing his opponent off. So you can do this as part of a strategy, but never get in the habit of just being in the same rhythm, because that's a good way to get timed and get put out. A lot of mistakes a lot of beginners make is they lean forward when they're throwing their punches, right? So they'll be here, and then they'll shoot the jab and they'll lean forward, right? They'll shoot the right and they'll lean forward. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to reach their opponent, but there's better ways to do that without putting yourself in danger. When you lean forward that way, you're putting yourself in a line of fire. Not only that, you're increasing the level of impact because you're coming at them when they're coming at you. And it's a good way to eliminate any reach advantage that you have or contribute more to any reach disadvantage that you have, right? So you want to eliminate the lean. Again, if you want to go forward, right, you could step, but you want to practice just shooting your punches without moving. When you're first starting out, you want to practice all your punches without moving anything about your body. Don't lean forward. Don't bounce, right? Just practice shooting them static, right? That's the best way to throw punches that don't get telegraphed at all. So stop leaning forward because you're going to get hurt. The next mistake is to shorten your punches. A lot of times when I ask my students to throw faster, instead what they'll do is they'll just shorten their punch. You're not actually throwing faster, you're just shortening the distance that your punch is traveling. When you punch faster, you want to punch in a way that doesn't sacrifice your range of motion, right? Same thing when you're throwing harder. You don't want to ever sacrifice the form. You always want to throw with perfect form when you're throwing punches. So what a lot of guys will do when they're shadowboxing, you'll tell them to go faster and they'll go, right? So just to try to have good speed, they'll shorten their punches, right? You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're rolling that shoulder out constantly. You're snapping that shoulder. Not only is this going to make your punches harder, but it gives you that extra reach advantage. The difference between this punch and this punch is huge. That's the difference between you hitting your opponent or getting hit yourself, right? Always roll that shoulder out. Stop shortening your punches. Make sure you get full extension on those shots. Next mistake I call drawing circles. A lot of guys do this, and even some more seasoned fighters do this. Even I'm guilty of this sometimes when I throw a hard right hand, right? Basically what this is when you throw a punch and instead of bringing it straight back, you do this. And you're basically drawing that circle, right? A lot of guys, they throw punches like this. And this is terrible for many reasons, right? One is you're not traveling straight A to B, which is the fastest way to get anywhere and the fastest way to get back somewhere. But you're leaving yourself wide open for a counter shot, right? Unless you're that confident in your reflex ability or you're that seasoned where you know you can throw that shot and hop out the way of it, don't do that. Don't do that. You want to practice good habits, right? You want to constantly have your hands up. For the first at least 2-3 years of boxing, follow the fundamentals. They're there for a reason. Eventually, you'll develop your own style. But in the beginning, for the first couple years, follow the fundamentals and perfect them. Perfect them until you reach a level of confidence where your personality can shine through your style. But for the most part, follow the fundamentals and shoot those shots, right? Shoot those shots perfect. Make sure they're always coming back to your chin. Pretend there's a magnet here, right? Don't draw circles with your punches. Straight out, straight back, all the time. Doesn't matter if it's hooks, uppercuts, right? Always back to your chin. These next two I'm kind of going to tie into one. One mistake that a lot of guys make is they basically do the opposite of what you're supposed to do. When you start boxing, you keep your chin down and your hands up, right? That's the first thing they tell you. But what most guys do is they keep their chin up and their hands down, right? Even guys who know how to fight, like Cody Garbrandt, tend to do that, and really good fighters like Ryan Garcia tend to do that. But these guys are experienced, right? And we've even seen guys like Cody pay the price for doing this, right? If he would just follow some basic fundamentals and get his hands back up, he would probably have been better off in a couple of his fights. Nonetheless, you don't want to do this, right? You want to keep your hands up and chin down when you're throwing punches. What a lot of guys do is they'll be relaxed right here. They'll be just throwing. Even if you want to keep your hands low and that's part of your style, that's fine. Still keep your chin tucked, right? Because it'll decrease that level of impact that you have when you get hit. So if you're going to shoot those shots, don't shoot them like this, right? Shoot them like this. Even if you keep your hands low, keep that chin down, keep it tucked. That way, even if you get cracked on the way out, it's still tucked and it's a lot harder to hurt you. And the reason a lot of guys do this, and the previous mistake of drawing circles, is they focus too much on trying to be fast and strong when they first start boxing, right? They immediately think they want to look like Mike Tyson or Manny Pacquiao when they're shadowboxing. So they start going all out, and then they start just making mistakes and building bad habits, right? So you want to slow down in the beginning, even though I always preach no bullshit punches. In the beginning, you want to slow down and really throw perfect punches. You want to get the form right. You want to throw perfect every single time. You want it to be a habit to be perfect. And the only way you're going to do that is deliberate practice. And the one mistake that I didn't include in this list, but it's probably the biggest mistake everybody makes with shadowboxing, is they don't do it enough. A lot of guys treat it like a warm-up exercise. It is not a warm-up exercise. You have to treat it seriously, and you have to make sure that you're working on your craft when you're shadowboxing and dedicate a lot of rounds to it. Don't just do it for 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds. Do it for 5 rounds, 6 rounds, 7 rounds, 10 rounds, right? Really give yourself the time and the effort to shadowbox. Make sure you dedicate time to it. It's a really important exercise to build habits. It's a good exercise to learn new techniques. It's the best exercise you can do to really just practice and become a better fighter. So take it seriously. Don't just treat it like a warm-up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, but before you bounce on to the next video, don't forget to check out our fight store. There's a ton of stuff there that I'm sure you guys will like. I dropped the link in the description below. Check it out. And do jab that like button, hook that subscribe button, and all those other YouTube buttons that'll help this channel blow. I really appreciate it. Other than that, I'm Sean Brawl Brothers, and I'll brawl with you guys next time.